I present to us Chief Ronke Margaret Adeyemi, and I present our profile. We can have our seats. Thank you very much. Chief Ronke Margaret Adeyemi had her secondary school education at the famous Christ School, Ado-Ekiti, and later the University of Benin, Benin City, where she obtained a law degree in 1992. She later proceeded to the Nigerian Law School, Victoria Island, Lagos, and was called to bar on the 15th of December, 1993. She also has a master's degree in industrial and labor relations from the University of Ilorin. Upon completion of her NYC program at the law firm of Oyeni Oloyede and Co. in Lagos, she was retained as a junior counsel in the chamber, and from there she developed an interest in private legal practice. By reason of marriage in July 1995, she relocated to Ilorin, where she worked with Akin Akintoye and Co. to acquire deeper understanding of the intricacies of legal practice. In January 1998, she started her own law firm, a law firm called Ronke, Adeyemi and Co., which has grown and thrived to become one of the leading law firms in Kwara State, and I make bold to testify to that. Chief Ronke, a notary public, is a very active member of several professional and Christian bodies, where she has held various leadership positions, which includes, but not limited to, the following: the Vice Chairman, Nigeria Bar Association, Ilorin Branch, 2007 to 2009, Chairperson, International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, 2014 to 2017, Chairman, Christian Lawyers Fellowship of Nigeria, Kwara State, Branch, 2018 to 2020, Member, Amnesty International till date, from 2015, Associate Member, Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, UK, from 2015 till date. Patroness, Girls Brigade of Nigeria, 2020 to date. She is currently the President, Kwara Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, Kwasima, and the first female to occupy that position in the over 50 years of existence of the chamber. In addition to being the principal partner of Ronke Adeyemi and Co., Chief Ronke is also the director of Real Megs Venture, director of Shalom Edge Nigeria Limited, director Chesterfield Farm, and associate member of MMGIVIT Charity Initiative. She's the executive director of Mainstay Support Foundation, as well as being the chairman of the board of directors of Legal Matrix Support Services Limited. We can do better, please. Thank you. She is passionate about the defense of vulnerable women and children, and has used her legal profession to effectively promote, preserve, protect, and enhance the rights of this group of people over the years. And I am also a candidate of and a recipient of that tenacity. Thank you, ma. Yes. She is a seasoned public speaker and has also delivered papers, written articles, participated in several radio and television programs, and public discussion on gender-sensitive issues like wife backing, obnoxious widowhood practices, girl-child education, female genital mutilation, women empowerment, women in conflict with the law, child abuse, among several others. Mrs. Chief Ronke Adeyemi loves music, loves dancing, reading, and traveling, and has visited about 10 countries of the world for conferences, business, and vocation. I present to you, as we call her in FIDA, our paragon of beauty. She is a lawyer, an entrepreneur, and a farmer. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Praise the Lord. Thank you so much for the birthday song. It has made my day. I want to start off by giving glory to God for bringing me to this day. Today I'm 56 years old. By this time in 1968, I was already born, because I had a friend who used to say some of us who are outspoken must have been born in the afternoon. So one day I now called my mother and said, what time of the day was I born? She said it was 7 a.m. So I guess that's why I'm such a quiet person. Thank you very much. I bless the name of the Lord for bringing me thus far. I also want to thank our pastor, Mrs. Olotu. Like she said, she has known me forever. She's my big auntie. And she's one of the women in Ilorin that has shown us that being a woman is not a disadvantage. And that there is no height you cannot get to, especially a Christian woman. That we don't need to be laid back and just resign to fate and say, I'm a woman and that is the end of it all. So we thank you so much, ma. Only eternity will reveal to you how much impact you have made in the lives of people in and around Kwara State. God bless you very much, ma. And I also greet Her Excellency, ma. It's a pleasure to see you again. Thank you so much. It's nice to see you looking very beautiful, looking very nice. Let's pray together. Our Father, we thank you for bringing us together. Even as we go to share a few words, we ask that your Holy Spirit will teach us, and all we hear today will bring us better life than we've ever known before. In Jesus Christ's name we are prayed. I've been invited to speak about empowerment for women. And I want to thank God for the way our pastor, Mrs. Olotu, started off by telling us that there are several levels of empowerment. In fact, that's my starting point. For me, I categorized empowerment into 4 broad groups, and that is spiritual empowerment, mental empowerment, physical empowerment, and then financial empowerment. I'll be dwelling much on financial empowerment, even though I might touch slightly on the other areas of empowerment. Like our pastor said, the most important one, especially for a child of God, is spiritual empowerment. And no matter the height you get to, if you are not spiritually powerful, you just be a prey for Satan. He will be able to just toss you up and down. And that's why you see some people, they'll go to school, they come out with a first class. That shows they are very, very intelligent, but their life will not amount to much. Their life will not amount to much because they did not have spiritual empowerment. So Satan was able to cage them and to deal with them spiritually, and that's why they were not able to advance. So when we are raising children and we are concentrating solely on she must have a first class in school, must have 6 or 7 A's in, what was spiritual empowerment? Because all of this will go to waste if we don't have spiritual empowerment. And the fact that you're a child of God has given you a big platform. In fact, it's the biggest platform you can ever have. Being a child of God is the best thing that can happen to any individual. In fact, I wonder those who don't have Jesus in their lives, how they cope. I don't know how they cope. So the fact that you're a child of God, you are already on a pedestal. You are a princess in your own right. And the Yoruba people say, when you see the child of a king, the aura must be there. So the aura, the fact that you are a child of the king, must be obvious in your life. So we must pay attention to spirit. I'm not going to dwell too much on that. Our mommy has spoken extensively on that. So let me just go straight to financial empowerment to save time. The book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 verses 1 to 4 talks about what will happen at the end of time. That in the last days, perilous times shall come. Men will be lovers of themselves. They will be boasters, they will be covetous, they will be blasphemers, they will be disobedient to parents. They will be disobedient to constituted authorities. They will be without, men will be lovers of their own selves. Please hold that one very tightly. People, and we are not talking of men as in the gender alone, that is human beings. They will become very selfish. They will be without natural affection. They will be truce breakers. So it means when you enter into an accord with them, they will not honor their commitment to you. They will be traitors. They will be high-handed. And then they will be lovers of pleasure. So this is the people we are going to be living with in the world. And Jesus said in Luke that when you see some signs, earthquakes, wars and all of that, that it is not the end yet. So it means as at now, it's safe to say, well, for the end of the world, not the end of your own life, because Christ can come for us at any time, but that the end of the world has not come. But look at the condition of the people we are going to be living with. So it means you just have to do something about yourself. Because you are going to be surrounded by people who are truth breakers, including spouses. You are going to be surrounded by people who are disobedient to parents, and you think your own children may not be one of them. So for you to be training children, and then you put yourself at the back burner and say, the children will take care of me. These are children that the Bible says, some of them, not all of them. And look at the people around you. Now you see somebody who have 3 children. One is in Canada, one is in Dublin, one is in America. And the mother and father are here. So you need to plan for yourself. You need to plan for your life. And it is our prayer that we will live long. So if you are saying, I tell myself all the time, my mom is 92. My father died at 93. So if God gives me a long life, now I'm 56. So I'm looking at maybe at least another 40 years. Amen. By the grace of God. So I don't have a pension coming up. I don't have gratuity. I've never worked for government at any level. I've always been in private sector. So what is going to become of me? And this is what energizes me. This is what infuses me to work harder, to commit myself to the Lord, and also to plan that, okay, by the time I'm 50, I'm 60, God bless me with one daughter. She will get married, she'll go away. I don't even know which part of the world she will eventually relocate to. So I can't even put my egg in that basket and say, aha, my daughter will now take care of me. It's my prayer. I pray she will take care of herself. That is even the first important thing. Because we see parents that are still sending foodstuffs to their children. And it is not because those children are lazy. It is because of the economy of the world. So that makes it imperative that you should plan for your life. Don't rely on anybody. Look at what the Bible says is going to happen at the end of the day. Look at the kind of people the world will be filled with. You need to plan for your life. Then, when we speak to people like this, some will just sit back and say, na gomelo, I'm already 55, I'm already 60. What more can I do? It is never too late to start. How many of you know Afe Babalola University? Baba Afe Babalola is a lawyer, he's a senior advocate of Nigeria. He was a lawyer for many years. On his 80th birthday, he announced that he was going to start a university. And he started Afe Babalola University. On his 80th, at 80, many people are just waiting for Jesus to come and take them. But kí ló tún kù? 80. And he was never a lecturer, he was not a professor, he was a lawyer. He had never run a school, he never owned a primary or secondary school. He went and started the university. And that is one of the very best universities in Nigeria today. So if Afe Babalola could start at 80 I said though, I didn't say 60, 80-year-old man. How old are we that we are saying we are too old to think of something? I cannot do any wahala again. Do you know the wahala that man did when he was a lawyer, when he was in active practice? He raised, I don't think there's any lawyer in Nigeria who has raised as many senior advocates as Baba Afe Babalola did. So he has worked that. And it's not that he didn't have money. He had the money. So don't think it is too late to start. And don't think, what can change your life? Recently, I went to visit a friend. Her husband is a medical doctor, and she has a son who is also a medical doctor. Usually when I get to them, to their, eba mi wo blood pressure me. And the husband said, yeah, about you wo blood pressure. So she checked and said, go and, this is the reading. Oh yeah, I've finished. Go and tell doctor. I said, you should be able to tell me what to do or something now. He said, me oh no, I am not a doctor now. When I left their house, that thing kept ringing in my head. Somebody is married to a medical doctor. She gave birth to children. One of the children went and studied medicine and became a doctor. They live in the same house. They've been eating practically the same food. Why is it that the husband and the son know better than her? Because they were attending medical classes. They were listening to medical education. They were practicing the things they were being taught. So it means you can be rubbing shoulder with somebody and you may be hearing things that can change your own life better than that of that other person if you make use of it. I also tell children that look at school hostel. Maybe 3 people will be in one room. When you wake up in the morning, one will go to Faculty of Law, one will go to engineering, one will go to Faculty of Education. At the end of 4 or 5 years, you will be knowledgeable in different things because those are the things you were listening to. So it is those things that changed their lives. It is those things that gave them power to go and be appearing in court and be operating on people in hospitals. So don't think that hearing things like this have no impact. They have an impact upon your life. In year 2000, as a relatively young lawyer, I went with one of my friends, Mr. Koshile, to attend a feeder program in Abuja. It was year 2000. And it was a 3-day program. One of the things I learned in that program that I have not forgotten till today is that don't wait for anybody to push you. That young ladies, you get married, you and your husband got married, you had first degree. He had first degree, you had first degree. The man will go and do masters, you stayed at home. The man will go and do PhD, you stayed at home. That with time, is human. The kind of people will now be relating with, they will be different, they will be better than you. And then you will start complaining. He does not love me anymore. Now that everybody is calling him Dr. Lagbaja, is misbehaving. You must improve your life. When he finished his own masters, as he's about to start PhD, go and start your masters. Some people will stay married, they will marry with school certs, and they will be like that for the rest of their lives. And the husband will go ahead and better his own life. And you think you will remain on the same plane, no matter how Christianly the man is, it's going to affect you. So, please, don't think what these things that we are saying don't matter, and don't think it is too late to dream a new dream. So, the starting point for us is, what do we have in our hands? When we talk about empowerment to a lot of people, they think about money. Where will I get money to start a business? That's not the first thing. The first thing is, what is in my hand? What can I do with it? I met a young lady, she came to look for a job in my office. No, she told me she read accounting in a university. And she works she was then working in a primary school, private primary school, and that they were paying her maybe 12,000 naira. I said, you studied accounting. Didn't you pass? She said she passed, made a 2-2. So what? She said there is no job. I said, why can't you create a job? You are an accountant. You studied accounting. If you don't have money to go and be doing ICANN first, every day you go around, you meet people, they'll say, I'm a poultry farmer. They have almost eaten my poultry to the ground. My people are stealing money. I said something should ring in your head. Are there no accounting procedure that this person can put in place to save our business? Madam, am I worried? Since you don't have time, let us do it like this. When you buy feed, take this exercise book, write it there. Today we bought 200 bags of feed. How many feeds are the chickens eating per day? Write it there. And that's how you will be monitoring. Every Saturday I will go to your farm and help you check. And we will know how many feeds have been eaten and how many are supposed to be remaining. Then when you have this number of chickens, how many eggs are they supposed to lay? And why did they lay lesser than that amount? I said, when you are doing it for somebody, say, but Emma Fumilowo Moto, you know your farm is a bit far. Be giving me 10,000. The person will be. And when the person is seeing improvement in the business, he or she will recommend you to another farmer. Omo, come alone, help me. That next farmer, you'll be like 15,000. The next person, and you go to their farms only once a week. Or shops. We have a lot of complaints from people in Yoruba Road who say, when you see them, you are counting carton. They have sold everything inside. There's nothing more. How come our accountants, and you studied accounting, and you cannot find a solution to the problem of the society? You are looking for a job. No. You are trained to find a solution to people's problems. For those of us who have university degree, that your degree is conceived to solve a problem. No matter what you studied. No matter what. Go and sit down and think that, okay, this is my sociology. This is my political science. What is it supposed to do to the society? They don't just sit down and conceive courses. It's supposed to solve a problem. Like I said, I've always been a lawyer all my life. I've never worked for any government. I worked with my seniors for about 5 years, and then I started my law practice. And it's always been my question, what can I do to improve the society? To ensure that police will not just arrest somebody and throw the person in the cell and then forget you there for no just cause. A man is not allowed to beat his wife. You cannot neglect your children. And when you are trying to solve other problems, income will be coming to you. People will begin to recognize that you are good in this area and begin to pay you. So that's your starting point, that what endowment do I have? What am I trained for? And for those of us who are business inclined, you can look around you. What problem can I solve around my area? Maybe I live here. To buy paracetamol, to buy something for my cold, I need to get to Muritala. So it means there's a small medicine store around there. People will not know to be going to Muritala to buy paracetamol. Okay, so what does it take to run a successful medicine store? You know, To Yield is one of the biggest pharmacy companies in the world. Do you know that Baba did not really study pharmacy? So, I have a friend, he's an engineer. He has one of the biggest hospitals in Lekki. He's an engineer. So it means you can do, even though you were not trained for that thing, once you acquire knowledge, you can do it. And it will become successful as long as it is meeting needs. You see we have a lot of educated women now. Women who work in banks, lawyers, professors, that go to work in the morning and they will be struggling back home at 6:37. And they will still have to run to Yoruba Road. Madam, Emma Shewala, give me a list of the things you need. I can get people who can come and supply you. I can get people who can come and clean your house for you, so that will be out of your problem. I can get people who will be helping. You have washing machine, no problem. Once you finish washing, fold all the clothes, put them in Ghana must go. I'll come and carry them, go and iron them, and bring them back. There are so many things to do. So many. And don't think that something is beneath you. Me, maybe when I leave here now, I'll quickly go to poultry. It doesn't embarrass me at all. It doesn't. Why should I be embarrassed that I own Tajie? And so, and that's because that's about the only thing that we're allowed to do as lawyers. Anything are Greek. And so I chose that. So there should be nothing that will be embarrassed about. Which one can you now do? No. If you cannot do that one, how come you can spend money? I have a one of my wives that used to, you're coming, what can you give me? This, I said, okay, madam, let's do it like that. I've started the poultry, and it's relatively large. Can you come and be working there to be kind of a manager? You like but when I go and smell the igbe and I come back with money, we can share it. And that's the mentality of our people. Meanwhile, our children that are running abroad, if you know the things they do there, The things they cannot do here. So there are many things to do. Don't start with I don't have money. Money is not the first thing you need. The first thing you need is the idea. And then the willingness to succeed. Don't think time is gone in your life. Afe Babalola started the race at 80. 80. 80. I don't think there's an 80-year-old person here I can see. Nobody. So start. And start with the low-hanging fruits. The one that your hand can reach easily. The one that you don't need to be looking for one uncle or one auntie to assist you to set up. When you start, then because you are a child of God, the way will begin to open. The way will begin to open. I started poetry before COVID. During COVID, there was a message all over the internet that the federal government wants to assist farmers to recover and blah, 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 and that people who are interested should signify. They came to Kwara Chamber of Commerce. I'm a member. They said we should write down our names. We wrote our names, and that was the end of it. You write your name, you write the kind of business you are into that COVID has affected. That it's really affected us poultry farmers because the chickens continue to lay. You cannot tell them, but there was nowhere to sell the eggs. So we were burying hundreds of crates of eggs. So they took our names and went away. One day I had a phone call. Is that Mrs. Adeyemi? Yes, okay. Your loan application has been granted. You have been granted. I said, I put it on speaker. I want 419. So how much? She said 10 million. I said, sure. Thank you. So where am I getting the money? He said, you come to the central bank. I said, which central? I said, Central Bank Ilorin. Are you not in Ilorin? I said, yes. Central Bank Ilorin, why? When? He said, you can come tomorrow. I went with 2 more people. He was running no motor. If you don't see us in 2 hours, in 1 hour, and I went in there and I told them, and they said I should go and bring my statement of accounts for the farm. I ran to Zenith Bank, printed 6-month statement, brought it, and they made me sign paper. Before I reached I saw a lot, 10 million naira. It is the first time in my life that we gain something from the federal government of Nigeria. Just like that. But I got that because I started something. They didn't give lawyers money. They didn't give lawyers money. They gave farmers. So if you are doing something, and with that I was able to, and they said it's loan, it's not grant, but it's repayable within 5 years. And that the first 2 years we will not pay anything. But after 2 years we start paying. And we are paying now. But it gave a big boost to the business that was badly affected. So once you start something, the Lord will begin to open the way for you. The Lord will begin to open the way because you are a child of God. But please, start something. Sorry, I wanted to print this out, but I didn't really have the time to go back to the office this morning. So I said, what problem can I solve? I said, be willing to start small and grow. Please be willing to start small. Today, you get to the poultry farm and you see 20,000 chickens. I didn't start with 20,000 chickens. So who will even start with 20,000 chickens? How? Where will you get the money? Start small. Be willing to start small. When I started my law practice, I had to move in with another friend she had an office already. So I went to be with her. She had a vacant room in her office. I said, okay, let me stay here. I will be paying the rent together. We will be paying the secretary together. We will be buying stationaries together. And that was how I started law practice. So be willing to start small. Don't think, you see young lawyers now, they want to be a Ronke Adeyemi. Ronke Adeyemi, 56 years old. They will be a lawyer for 31 years. And you want that kind of office today. You can't. Even if your father is very rich and they set up an office and buy everything in Ronke's office for you, it will be difficult for you to succeed. Because you didn't put them together a little at a time. For your Bible will say, "Akapa eka." Your hand must carry the issues. You will not know how to relate with clients. You will not know how to get new clients. You will not know how to behave in court. It's beyond knowing law. Legal practice is beyond knowing law. So these are the things you will be learning a little at a time till you get to where you are. So be willing to start small. Then the finance. People talk about accessing finance. At a time you will definitely need to access finance. Don't tell yourself that people ought to help you. In my life, I have never waited for anybody to help me. My background is that my mother got married to her first husband. She had 2 children and the husband died. And then she married my father. And they had 6 children. My father was never married. He was a young man when he married my mother. They got married in 1957. So for a young man, he was a teacher. To marry a widow in 1957. My mother told me what my father's people showed her, that they showed her Pepe. She's looking for a cool place. She's looking for who will help her to carry the body of her life. She's looking for who will be helping her to train her children. She had a boy and a girl. She got married to my father and started having girls. I'm number 6 on the list of girls. In fact, I used to ask my father that when they came out of maternity and said she had another girl, were you not tempted to abandon me there? He will say no. Before God eventually gave them a boy. So my mother had to work hard. She needed to prove the other people wrong, that no, I'm not your brother. I'm not coming to your brother so that he can carry my burden. I'm going to work hard and train my children and train the children that both of us will have together. So that's the kind of mother that I have. And she will tell us that the only thing she cannot do is what a man will use his manhood to do. That's the only thing she cannot do. That a man will have 2 hands, I have 2 hands. The man have 2 legs, I have 2 legs. The man has 1 head, I have 1 head. Why should the man do better than me? Are they using their something to make money? If anybody needs to use private part to make money, it's a woman. I don't think anybody pays a man for using that thing. So so it means women are at an advantage, and then we are stronger than them. You will see that if 10 people lose, if 5 men and 5 women lose their spouses, 4 out of the men they will remarry. For the women, a lot of them may not remarry, and they will go through life successfully and raise their children. It is because we are stronger than them. So there is no reason for you not to do well. There is no reason for you not to advance in life. So talking about accessing finance, don't rely on anybody. Nobody owes you anything. And when you develop that attitude that nobody owes you anything, you will not need to wait for anybody. You will not be disappointed. Some women will come to my office and their complaint is, kò ra mọ́tò fún mi. Ṣé máa ra mọ́tò fún yàn ni? You wá ra mọ́tò fún rẹ̀. Why can't you buy it by yourself? My husband, he will not fill my car with petrol. Wọ́n léwọ̀ nílé epo ni. No. If he does it for you, you thank God. There are some very responsible husbands that will do practically everything for you. Thank God for those who have those kinds of husbands. And for those who don't have, ìyí tọ́lọ́run bá ti dà ságbádá èèyàn wá máa yán ni. That's the husband God has given you. You will be managing him like that. Some don't have the capacity. Some husbands don't have the ability. Ṣebí ṣé òun lẹ́yìn náà ń ṣe yìí. Imagine him being your wife. With all this one you are coping with, and you need to also be taking care of him. And some have, and they don't want to give you. If he doesn't want, I don't quarrel with a husband who doesn't want to give money. It's his money. The best thing is for me to go and make my own. Or what do I mean now? Shebi I have classmates that we went to law school together. And some of them are not even believers, have 2 wives and 8 children. And they are taking care of them. So don't wait for any, don't rely on anybody. You will be wasting your time. Plan for yourself. How will I build a house? How will they buy a car? How will my business prosper? That your uncle in America, if he sends you money, you can mention it to him. If he sends you money, you thank God. If he does not send you money, you thank God. Please don't wait for anybody. That's the place to start with in your heart, that nobody owes you anything. Nobody is coming to help you except your Lord Jesus Christ. And that has been the experience of my life. I've received a lot of help, but never from people that I expected. Never. Jesus has taught me that if he says, I'm taking you here, don't stand like this and be waiting for this person to lead you. Sometimes the person that is going to lead me is here, or is here. So it's better I just stand like this and raise my eyes onto the hills and let my help come from God. This one will tell me, do this. In fact, my journey to become a senior advocate is a big testimony, and I pray that God will give me the opportunity to come here one day and share it. The kind of help that God raised. I've been in Ilorin since 1995. It's difficult to get people that will hold your hand and raise you up. Not because they don't want to, but because of the kind of society we live in here. If you see a man that is trying to help a woman, man friend there. So everybody is careful. No matter what quality they see in you, and they know that, if only this lady can get little help, they're okay, but they are afraid. Because we, the women, our no la mama, but Adeyemi, and my mates, I have people who are junior to me in the legal profession, I have become senior advocate for years. But you will see them that before they became that, those organs will take them to go and do cases. If I follow one organ to go and do case in Bauchi now, we are staying there for 1 week. Both at home and in the society. They have gone for 1 week. We saw them in one hotel in Sokoto. They are together. Meanwhile, that's the way God can help you. You can't do only learning cases and become a senior advocate. And I don't know clients in Port Harcourt. I don't know clients in far away places. It is all these big lawyers who know them. So when they give them cases, they would say, oh yeah, let's do it together. But when you begin to travel with them like that, Otinale. So that makes it harder for a woman. I'm becoming a senior advocate at 56. I know people become senior advocates at 36. Wow. Yes. People become senior advocates at 40. So it's hard for a woman. So over the years, I've learned to train myself that I'm not going to expect help from anywhere except from the Lord Jesus Christ. And he has been doing it, and he has done it several times. So, finance is not only money. Finance is also assets. You can, when you think of a business you want to do, I gave an example of medicine store. Let's say, for instance, you now decide that you want to start a medicine store. You need a shop, and you need medicines that you put inside. Now, instead of thinking about money, you can look around for somebody who has not opened his shop for some months. Madam, I buy a low shop, and she says, yes, and some of them will say, I've paid for 1 year. My money has not finished, the remaining 6 months. Okay, I will pay you the balance. Let me take over. So you have gotten a shop without paying for 1 year rent. Such opportunities sometimes come. If we open our eyes, you will be passing the front of a shop that has been locked for months, and it did not cross your mind that this kind of place will be good for what I'm thinking, and it's been closed. Then let me find out Taloni shop. Some of us are just going like this because we are waiting for your brother in Kano to send you money. So we need to have our eyes always open and look for assets. The next is there somebody who has a big pharmacy store that can give me goods? When you give me goods of 50,000, I'll pay 20,000. When I finish selling, I'll come and pay the balance and then I pay, you give me another one. There are such opportunities, especially if you are in the midst of people of God. It could be a member of your church. It can be somebody in an association that you are. But you have to be faithful. Why people are skeptical about such things, that some of them, when they carry, I have a friend, she came and carried the eggs of 300,000 to Adeyemi. 1 naira like this, she never gave me. Till today, she's still on the verge of, if anybody can help me. 300,000 naira worth of eggs, not 1 naira did she return. So how will I give her another one? So there are opportunities like that. Don't be fixated on getting money alone. You can get, maybe it's Indomie you need. Look for somebody who has plenty. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n lọ tà. Every Saturday, I will bring the one I've sold that. And a little like that at a time, you begin to grow. That's about then finance. People do ajo. People do cooperative. Look for Christian cooperative. There are Christian cooperatives. We have a cooperative. We started it in the church. I'm a member of the Chapel of Redemption, Gakombi. When we wanted to start that cooperative, the pastor said, don't do cooperative in church. It will tear you people apart. We said, no. We are children of God. He said, okay. So we started the cooperative. It didn't last 2 years. People borrowed money and refused to pay. In fact, some till today, they stopped coming to our church. Till I'm talking to you. And I'm talking of about 15 years ago. They borrowed the money and they went away. So it collapsed. So some of us who were very passionate about it now came into town and they started another cooperative in my office. Emi, lawyer Lemi o. We will run this thing like it's supposed to be, not, we are children of God, but we are going to follow rules. So we made out the rules. And we said, under no circumstance will anybody bend this rule. If you cannot cope with the rule, please pull out. And we said we will admit in only Christians. Not only from our church, from other churches. Yesterday was our bi-monthly meeting. We meet physically every other month. We had to move to a bigger space outside of my office to the outside from inside my office. As at yesterday, we had 29 million naira in the cooperative account that we are appealing to members. Say, why yawo? Why yawo? This money is just there. The bank is not putting anything. It's in a current account. People should come and borrow. And they say, okay, we will try, we'll see. Meanwhile, I was in one cooperative that if you need 1 million, they first give you 300 this month. They'll give you 300 next month. There are cooperatives and there are cooperatives. Look for a good one. There is no amount of money you need in that cooperative. And in 24 hours, we give you a check. In 24 hours, once you get guarantors, it's part of our rule. If you want to borrow 5 million, you know you already have 2.5 million yourself. So you look for 2 people who will use their own money to guarantee your own. And it's been running fine. We have never had any reason. If you tell us that you don't want to be a member, tomorrow morning, we calculate what your money is. I will give you. To the glory of God. And we've been running for over 10 years. So you can access money from cooperatives. You can access money from banks. But yes, there are some bank loans that are not very frightening. There are facilities, but you have to have some relationship with them for some time. They will see what is coming in and going out of your account. 2 of my bankers, Zenith Bank and GTB, they have a product. They will give you 10 million naira. If you take it for 6 months, the interest rate is 400,000. It's a flat interest rate. They just work it on and then they begin to debit your account every month, whether you have money there or you don't. If you take it for 1 year, it's 800,000. I think that's fair if you use it for a business. Don't use it to go and change the chair in your sitting room or to change your wardrobe. But if you use it to even buy pali indomie. There's no way you won't be able to refund it. Our problem is when we take such loans, our costary loss on school fees, we pay ọ̀rẹ́ mi fẹ́ ṣe birthday, wọ́n máa ṣọ 50,000. Mi ò bá yàn máa ṣọ Ankara, ìjọ tí bàbá mi kú Ankara 35. Lágbára jù bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn lọ. So if you cut off frivolities as a business person, you will have finances. When they see that you are serious minded, if you take the first one and you pay on time, why would they not give you a bigger one? They can start with you with 2 million naira or 1 million naira. If you pay within the agreed time, either 6 months or 1 year, they will give you a bigger one tomorrow. People think of bank loans and they want to faint. Sometimes they too know that all these other loans are very terrible. So they have a lot of products for SMEs. When you get to your bank, tell them that you want a loan for small scale in the entrepreneur, and they will tell you what products are available. Then I talked about Ajo. You can access money through Ajo, but you have to be faithful. Some people will take Ajo and then you will not see them again, or you will not be running after them. We are children of God. We must be people of integrity. Even if it is you and your siblings that are doing the Ajo, pay your own. Please, don't take and run away. And don't access finance unless for business purposes. Please, that one is very, 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 very important. That's the one that puts people in trouble. Then services too. You can also, if your business is rendering services, you want to be a cleaning person. Cleaning services is one of the biggest businesses that people can do, but we don't know. Cleaning, before I ran here, I had to wait for the woman who comes to help clean my house on Saturdays. She works in Amity. She's a cleaner there too. And she goes from people's house to house. It is another sister in the church that introduced her to me. And I said that she can become, in 3 hours, how many people are in my house? The place is not dirty. In 2-3 hours, what is she better? And she earns money. Now imagine taking that to another level. As part of my job as a lawyer, we help our clients to sell properties. Once somebody took me to a property to help them sell. When I entered the house, big house, it was so clean. I said, is it the person that moved out that cleaned it like this? I said, no, this is not possible. This must be a professional cleaner. And I went with 2 men. The other man started laughing. He said, how did I know? I said, this must be a professional cleaner. That is very clean. The toilet, no cobwebs anywhere. Everywhere squeaky clean. He said, yes, that is his job. He relocated from UK. He cleans, when people move out a house or you finish building a new house, you go and clean it for you. He cleans churches. You know, in big churches, your hand cannot reach the cobweb. He has gadgets that will bring what they will climb, clean everywhere, clean windows, clean everything. And he builds well. So these are some of the things you can do if you want to be rendering that kind of service. You only need very small money. Cleaning agents is what you need. And then you start with 2 boys, a John Law. So how can you say you are waiting for somebody to give you 1 million naira to start that? Or they buy small things. So with 10,000 naira, you clean 1 flat or less. So for services, you may not really need a lot of money. And I even said, even in legal practice, I went to stay with somebody. And I started from there. I had 1 table and 2 chairs. I put one here, I put one there. If I have 2 clients at a time, I'll put the other one here. I will sit on the table. Others or one. It's as simple as that. Thank you. 5 minutes. So those are the various ways in which you can start. Then please get a mentor. When you now start, get a mentor. Somebody that you will willingly subject yourself to for mentorship. Somebody that you will not lie to. Somebody who can be telling you how to do it. Probably somebody in that line, if possible. If it is not possible to get a fellow poultry farmer, go and look for somebody who is also running a business, who can tell you what to do. That one is very important. Then create a brand for yourself. Our mommy was talking about being different. Whatever you do, do your own differently. In my office, We can never use biro to correct something we have typed. You go and reprint that page. We will never print something that the toner is looking like the toner is finished. Use good quality paper. That is what is called branding. So that when you are billing them for your services, they will not say, "Kilo se." Whatever you are doing, don't operate your business in a dirty environment. You enter some law firms. Wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ jẹ àmàlà àti gbẹ̀gìrì tán ní reception. I'm not saying you should not eat. How can the secretary sit at the reception and pẹ̀lẹ́ afẹ́rí lọ́yà? Doesn't give a good impression. You can enter into one of the inner offices to go and eat. I eat too. Please create a brand. Let your office, your business place be neat. I'm not saying expensive. I'm saying neat. Let it be comfortable. If you cannot afford an AC first, please get a fan. There are small inverters. It shouldn't be ẹ̀wọ̀n tí múná lọ mi lówó diesel. There are fans that can operate without electricity that you charge. Let your atmosphere be very, very comfortable. A man came to my office with the brother and he said, he came alone first and said his brother said I should do that, and I gave him my bill. Later, he called me and said he's coming with his brother. Let's say I give him a bill of 1 million naira. So they came. He had told me that the brother will come that time. Madam Emma didn't want to come. I said, okay, when you come. So they came. And I said, wọ́n lè san iye yẹn, èló lẹ wá lè san. And he said something like 500,000. And the brother started laughing at him. I said, what is funny? He said, madam, I told him. He said, they san 100,000. That when I bring him to your office, when he enter the place, he will not be able to open his mouth and I offer you 100,000. That see now he used his own mouth to say 500. That he was telling I cannot pay more than 100,000. I said, okay. Best thing is let me bring him to your office. When he enter the place, he won't be able to mention 500,000. 100,000. So let your business premises be very neat. Let it be comfortable. Let it be conducive. And when people come there, let them come there for business. Don't let your friends come and be gisting about Ìyá Aruka and Ìyá Matthew. Please run it like a business place. Don't let people be coming to your place and run it like a business place. Engage professional help. It's very important. I have an accountant, he's a brother-in-law who helps me with my accounting. If not, my check gbese, because as lawyers we handle a lot of clients' money. And both at the law firm and at the farm, he's the one who helps with my accounting process. Because I can just put money in my pocket and be spending. He's the one that told me that I must be on a salary. You must be on a salary in your business place. Even if it is 10,000 naira, and live within it. The first few months were very difficult for me. He said I should go to Ministry of Justice and ask how much my mates there are earning. And I went there and I got their money and he said, okay, he added, I think, additional 20,000 and said that's my salary. That every month I should remove it from office account and put it in my personal account. By 8 or 9 of the month, money has finished. What he told, he said, what he told on here. I said, so what will I now do? He said, nothing. You wait with the next salary. Or that you can get salary advance. So that helped me to cut unnecessary spending. When I see my personal account with 30,000, look on the 15th, I know that I cannot buy shoe and bag. So you need professional, especially in accounting. You need basic principles of accounting to succeed. If not, you will plunge yourself into financial difficulty. Then create profitable networks. Profitable is the word. When you go somewhere, look for business opportunities, look for business contacts. Don't just go there, hello, Warren. Always look for people that you can connect with. I have a colleague in my office. If he comes here, he will get 10 new clients from you people. No matter the gist you are giving him, in fact, these are the kind of things we do in our office. Will just win you. You are your own marketer. Always look for business opportunities. When you see people, that your business, how can you make them your clients or your customer? That's what you should think of, and think of fast. And finally, be focused. Don't allow distractions and side talks. You know, I told you, side talks will come. Ó ti di kinní kan. Especially when your business is beginning to grow and you don't have so much time like you used to have, that they are doing anything in the family or your husband's family, instead of you to go and stay 3 days, you are now staying 1 day. Ó ti dákọ̀. You know why you have dákọ̀? It's because you cannot leave your business, go and stay in a village for 4 days anymore. So whatever they are doing, it is between you and Jesus. You know you are not doing accord to them. It is that you don't have any more time. Even your friends that you used to gist around with. So stay focused. Don't waste your time. Don't allow distractions. Face where you are going. Set goals for yourself. In 5 years' time, I want my business to be this big. Now I have 2,000 chickens. In 5 years' time, I want to have 10,000 chickens. And you work towards it. And finally, acquire a healthy lifestyle. Take care of yourself. I know I'm over 50 now. In my 30s and 40s, I was driving from here to Lagos by myself. Now, if the last time I drove to Offa, sometimes early this year, the whole of the next day, ni mo fi ń sinmi Offa. So, take care of yourself, because the time is coming, you will not be able to run up and down so much like this again. No matter how healthy you look, no matter how passionate you are, your body will begin to slow you down. Now, I hardly wake up 5 a.m. anymore. In fact, unless I'm traveling. So please, acquire healthy lifestyle. Eat good food. It's cheaper to eat good food than to buy medicine. If you can do exercise, me, I cannot do exercise. So I'm controlling my life with food. Thank God I don't have weight problem. I know that if I have weight, I can't burn. Because me, I cannot do exercise. I cannot run. Honestly, the only exercise I can do is walk. So what I'm doing is, I don't eat sugar. Me, Mukoki. God has delivered me from Coca-Cola for over 10 years. So please acquire healthy lifestyle and pray. Go back to spiritual empowerment. The Lord will help us in Jesus' name.
We can